Hello, welcome to Top's Creations channel, and today we're going to continue the series on bracelets, making elasticated or bead wire stringed bracelets. And if you are new to the channel, please remember to subscribe at the end of the video so that you will be able to see our new videos when they come out every Friday. Now today we want to talk about adding charms to your bracelets. Now even if it's you're using bead wire instead of elasticated wire, as I'm elasticated thread, which I'm going to use now, is practically nearly the same procedure. Now when you want to put charms on your bracelets, if you look at the charms that I have in front of me, you can see that they have their own holes. Each charm has got a small hole at the top, which you can use to thread onto your bracelet. But if you use this hole to thread, it is not going to dangle. You know, the charms won't dangle on the bracelets, and I want them to be free. I want them to dangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some jump rings. I will add some jump rings to the dangle, and I'm going to use two sizes of jump rings. I'll use one 6mm jump ring, and I'll use a smaller 5mm jump ring. Now you can add one, but it still won't dangle enough for me. I want it to be free of the bracelet, so I'll add two. So this, I've added to this this charm already. If you can see it, I've added, first of all I added a 6mm, and then I added a smaller one at the top. This is the smaller one that will thread onto the elasticated thread we are using. Now I've also done another one here. You can see I've used two, one 6mm bigger one and a smaller one. Now it really depends on how you want to add your charms to the bracelet. If you want, you can add all your charms in one space together. That means you could use a bigger jump ring, a bigger size jump ring, and add all your charms if you're adding more than one, or you can add one. I would like to make a bracelet with maybe about 5 charms, and so I want to space them out. So first of all, I will lay out my beads. I'm making a 7-inch bracelet. Lay out your beads the way you want them and decide where you want to put your charms. So I've done that. So let's thread and add our charms. I want to put the charms after each pink crystal. So after each of these beads, I want to add one charm. So that is what we are going to do. We add one charm. Remember, I said we want to use the small jump ring. When you're putting them on, you need to make sure that they will all be facing the same way, because these charms have only one side as decorated. The back is plain, so you want them where the decorated side is facing the front. So you have to put it on in such a way that it will face the front. So this is the first one. That seems to be, yes, that seems to be okay. Let's see what it looks like on the elasticated thread. Yep. Remember, when you're using your elasticated thread, you always stretch it, pre-stretch the thread, stretch it a little bit so that when you're using it, it won't stretch too much. And then we continue threading. Now, before we do that, we need to add our jump ring to the next charm. So we take our chain nose pliers, pick one jump ring. I always try to open it from the side, because if you open it at the tip, the tendency is for the tip only to bend. So if you hold this on the two sides and then just open it towards you, then slip on the small jump ring, slip on the small jump ring, and then take your charm and slip that on as well, and then you close it. You close it the same way you open it, only you push it in the opposite direction. And when you're closing it, you try to close it in such a way that when you feel or hear the two ends sort of grate together, you know that they are closed. So we've done that. Now let's look at the small jump ring to make sure that that also is closed properly. Yep, that's fine. So that is ready to put onto our bracelet. So let's go back to our threading. Another crystal bead, after which we'll put the next charm, and the next charm is our mushroom. We want it facing outwards, so therefore we pass this way. Have a look at what we've put on. If it's facing the right way, that's fine, and then we continue threading and adding the other charms that you want to put on. So let's say we've now threaded the bracelets, we finished beading, and we've added all the charms we want to add. The next thing is to tie the bracelets. So we've got the measurements we want, and we've put all our beads on, and so we want to tie it now. So make sure you pull all your beads together. And what I normally do when we want to tie is don't let go of this loop, and then we cut the end of the cut the knot off, so that we can use these two loose ends. Take one, put it through the loop, and then hold on to the two. Push all your beads up to the loop so that the loop sort of goes into the bead, and then you now tie. So you now have, I use right over left, left over right, pull it tight a little bit, not too tight, and then do it again, right over left, left over right, pull it tight, and then do one more. But this time I will do a double knot, so that will be right over left. I won't pull it tight, I'll just turn it in again, so making it double. I'll twist it twice, so you have a sort of double twists on the top, and then you pull it and pull it tight a little bit. So once you've done that, hold on to the two ends, make sure it's tight enough, hold on to the two ends, and then put some hypo cement on top of the knot. Sometimes with the hypo cement the pin comes out, but I still use it as it is finished. So put a little on top of the knot here, just a little bit, to secure, keep the knot secure. And then if you like, you can leave it to dry, but what I want to do is I want to cut off the ends, carefully cut off the ends, and then push the knot into one of the beads. Pull it into one of the beads, and then you just leave it to dry. So that's the bracelet. And then this is the finished one. I used 5 charms. I put 5 charms in this, and you can see the charms are quite free on the bracelet, so there's nothing hindering the dangle at all. So that is how I add charms to my bracelets. So thank you for watching this week. Remember to subscribe, and I'll be back next week Friday at 7 p.m. Thank you very much. Bye.